Today, we're going to discuss some techniques and strategies to build a strategic plan for your role and how to align your leadership vision with your company's mission.
The top 3 reasons that a strategy implementation failed, two of the three rather, are soft skills. They're communication and lack of leadership, and you can be, determine that as a soft skill as well, which I think is interesting because those do play into the third one and getting that measuring tool right.
And while the mission critical priorities or rocks or whatever we would want to call them are above the waterline, the key is not to miss any of those items that are below the waterline and to make sure that we pay equal attention to all of them.
No matter how good your corporate strategy is, if there's no plan of how you're going to execute, Indy, to your point about the people skills, right? If you don't get through the people challenges, the strategy does us no good.
All kinds of factors influence these MCPs, and you also can influence these MCPs. You can communicate upwards and share your point of view of what's happening in your perspective, in your department, in your role. So no matter where you are in the organization, you have influence up and down.
What is the tone? What's the culture? You have to set that and get that right, because that leads to buy-in from all levels. And when they're excited, when they're on fire for what they're doing for an organization and really how it's serving other people, that's when you get that just electric jolt through an organization that gets behind something altogether. I mean, it's wonderful.
Funny about that is like I'm picturing like a kickoff, like an official kickoff,
Yes,
sales kickoff, corporate
exactly.
kickoff, and the lights and the music and the energy. But what you're just saying, like all that means nothing if we don't have buy-in.
Pursuing continuing education, it's so important, not only for your team, but for you to model that to them, showing the importance of that growth mindset and always learning.
What you said earlier, Indy, about, hey, there's a lot of people challenges in leadership, right? It's the majority of what we're doing. You can really start to see this connection here, right? Who are the people that we have on our bus with us, and how are we going to upskill them, to use that word, so that they can handle more, right? Be more effective and productive. You really start seeing that happen. And so,
and they want to.
I think so. Like, I think so, absolutely.
It's a complete missed opportunity if someone's willing to and wants to not to.
Here's the deal. If your meetings aren't productive, your team's not going to be productive. If you're dragging people through unproductive meetings that don't have a purpose, that's going to flow all the way through the rest of the day, rest of the week.
That's right, Ben. And we want people coming to meetings being excited. Like, every time we go to a meeting, we accomplish things. We get things done. I'm heard. My people that I represent at this meeting are heard.
The right structure of a meeting, in my opinion, is the one that keeps them engaged. That's your point for connection. Definitely informed. Do they have what they need to know, what the meeting was set out to accomplish? And certainly, are they accountable? Do they all know where they're at on completing something? Or again, do they have what they need to get there? You're bringing up a group of new leaders on your team. You want to model that for them so that they learn it too and they carry it forward. That why is important. It should drive pretty much just about everything, but I like to also call it purpose. I think it's the bedrock.
It really is. And it's so easy for it to get lost. Right? Like you wake up in the morning, you go do the thing, like, and you go back, go to sleep. Why am I doing this? Give me the energy to keep pushing really hard. I think it's an important one. For Expect to Cascade, this is that self-accountability that we want from everybody on the team, the peer-to-peer accountability, meaning it doesn't have to be the big mean boss that steps in and says, hey, let's get back on our standard operating procedures. The peer-to-peer accountability is significantly more powerful, right? So it's a big part of that, of expecting the cascade. And then departmental accountability as a whole, right? As a team, as our own little silo, we have these expectations of how we operate. And we want to make sure that we hold each other to the expectations. And here's the crazy thing. If we don't do this formally, it's already happening informally. And it may not be happening in the most optimal way. So we want to take this and run with it versus just let it happen on its own, because not happening is not an option. It's always going to happen. And as a leader, you got to decide, do you want to impact it and influence it? Or do you want to just let it run rampant and see what happens?
Set out your plan and you're going you're headed towards hitting those priorities and you're leading your team, things are going to come up that you have to have those difficult conversations. But what I would say to that for leaders is it really is a conversation just of what's the truth. And that should be the only intention, other than the full intention is to help someone improve. So if you come to a difficult conversation with someone around something they need to improve or do differently this time, or course correct them in some way, if it comes from a place of, I'm here to help you, I'm invested in you, I see your value, I'm going to help you do better, the truth is received in that way. And it comes to them as I matter to them, they're helping me grow. And it's really just that simple, no matter how nervous it can be. Just speak the truth and with the intention to help.